The video that makes us big is going to be my sex tape.
No. The video that makes you big is going to be the name of your sex tape.
Welcome to Up at Night. I am Tony.
I'm Borden.
We're going to talk about Sony's E3
conference.
Lots of really cool stuff.
The uninterrupted, just slaughter of all other companies.
I will say this, Microsoft had a really good...
Strong one. We'll get into that in another video.
We will get to that. We are going to do
the other video that's out with this one.
We're going to do breakouts for every conference. But Sony. Okay, so right off the gate, God of War. They started with God of War, and that was a great way to start that conference off. Oh my God. That trailer started off kind of deceptively. Did you watch the trailer?
Yes.
So like you see the kid, and you're like, okay, what's going on?
I'm like, that's Kratos. Is that Kratos? Is that like not Kratos? Is that Kratos? I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. So it is confirmed. I will say this right at the gate. It is a sequel. It takes place after God of War 3, and it takes place, I'm assuming, this is my assumption, like a long time.
I called this.
Yeah.
I called this. I kind of called it.
We did talk about this before, so I mean...
What I'm thinking happened is, because at the end of God of War 3, he kills everybody. He kills all the gods.
Dead.
I think,
except for Aphrodite. She's still alive, technically.
Yeah, so I'm wondering...
All he did was fuck her, and then he just, like, left her. He didn't
That's what it is. So she probably bred these new gods.
Oh, maybe. No. Well, you could be right. I will say this. I just think he honestly, like, after all the violence and everything that happened in the other games,
he got bored.
I think he honestly went away and lived as like a hermit for a long time. Like, that's my assumption. It's like, I have a feeling hundreds, if not thousands of years have passed, because he's immortal. He's a demigod, right?
Yeah.
I have a feeling a long time has passed. That's why like they show him with the big beard and stuff, because I think they're kind of trying to get across the point that like
he's aged.
It's been a long time, and
it takes him that long to grow a beard.
Yeah. Did you notice? There's one thing I will say that the first thing that made me really laugh about that trailer was when the kid fucks up, and he gets angry. There's a little rage meter in the corner, and it starts to build, and then he goes. And the rage meter subsides.
Oh, that's great.
And then, like, he's like, you have to, like, and he starts talking to the kid, but, like, he's like, what are you doing? And then, like, it's just, like, the rage meter fills, and you're like, yeah, like, it was so funny, though. What a good nod to the old game.
That's great. It's a different kind of playstyle now. It has a Dark Souls kind of element.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it has less of the old...
camera angles above ground.
I was going to say, fixed camera angles... Sort of
spammy combat,
button mashy, spammy combat. It does have, like you said, a very Dark Souls,
more calculated. Kind of got to get close to the enemy.
Yeah,
still has those timed events where you have to hit.
That's fun. That's QTEs though. Like quick time events are
God of War. It is God.
Like
of War.
It is God of War. Like that is a thing. Like if they got rid of that, I feel like it wouldn't feel like God of War anymore. You know what I mean? But like, and the brutality is still there. Definitely, like when he first fights that first dude that he comes across, he like
the frost troll. Was that a frost troll? Yeah.
The big thing one of the big things he fights, I think
frost troll. Yeah.
Well, the one thing spits fire at him too, so I don't know. Maybe it's a frost giant or frost giants, and there are flame giants. There is a
mythos for that.
Yeah, there is a realm of flame in the Norse mythology, because that's by the way, that's what this game is going to circle around, is Norse mythology. I like that it's got the axe like right away, and like
it's
as soon as
enchanted.
you bust it out, like it starts glowing and stuff, and like like that looks really cool. Like I said, but like the first one he sees, he cuts one in half with the axe, then he grabs the other one, he starts bashing its head off the rock and like smashes it to pieces. And like, did you see the moment where he has that like Thor moment, and he goes like he pulls his hand out and like
pulls it back out,
pulls the axe back to him? I was like, yeah.
I'm very interested to see where this story goes.
Me too.
Because I love the idea.
I fucking love the God of War games.
Are they going to do Romans after? I hope they do Romans after.
Romans would be before this.
Before,
anything. I mean, I think they're going to skip that because here's my reasoning behind that. I think they're going to skip over the Roman mythology.
So
entirely,
similar to Greek.
Because yes, Roman mythology essentially was based on Greek mythology loosely, and a lot of those gods were essentially changed from being the Greek versions to the Roman versions, and a lot of them have, like, I mean, they are different gods in a sense, but it's very similar as far as the mythology goes. Yeah. So I think they're going to skip over that entirely. I think Norse was a good call because it's different enough, but it's similar enough that they can.
And it's intriguing. They can teach us something.
It's intriguing enough, exactly. Yeah.
I saw a comment where it's like, "What's next? Jesus Christ!" And like someone's putting in the comments like the next mythos after this is they take on the like Christian faith or something. God. I'm like, you for fucking real?
That'd be hilarious. Oh my god.
Kratos becomes Moses or something, and he's just walking the desert,
walking with the beard. And he's got the robe and he's got a staff.
Yeah. No,
not happening. But still, I am really excited to see where this series goes and what happens.
It'll be great.
Yeah, it'll be fucking awesome, no matter what. Like you can already tell. Next up, well, I'm not doing this in any particular order. I was kind of just gathering information as what we saw. Crash Bandicoot is coming back.
The hype for that game,
the hype is so real,
so high. People are losing it on YouTube.
Oh, I know, man. Like, I was watching. When I watched E3, I didn't watch it just through their like stream. I watched it through Kind of Funny. So like they were
watching it as it was playing.
Yeah, like they were commentary on it. Well, like, but they were keeping quiet for the good bits. But they were like, the one guy, Tim, you should have seen, like, he literally got up out of his chair and he's like, oh my god, like, just like throwing his hands up in the air, like, because it was one of his predictions that like this will never happen. Like, it was kind of one of those like, this is never gonna happen, but I'd love to see Crash games get rebooted. And like, it actually is happening. They're doing 1, 2, and Warped.
By Activision, which is weird.
Which is weird. Like Activision and Sony are kind of actually working together on this one.
You're gonna buy in-game costumes or something.
First of all, yeah. First of all, they're going to do. First of all, they're going to do other thing with Crash, the Skylanders. They're doing a Skylanders game with Crash in it, which you know what is fine. I mean, they had Spyro in Crashes or in
kids are gonna buy
Skylanders as well. The Imaginators kind of looks cool. I mean, the whole idea of you like being able to draw your own creature and then it like creates it in the game. Did you see that trailer?
No, but I'm just imagining the amount of dicks that are going to be on.
I said the exact same thing. I said the exact same thing to one of my coworkers. I was like, "Can you imagine how many fucking penis monsters are going to be in this game? Like, it's going to be ridiculous." Nonetheless, I mean, I'm excited for the Crash Masters. I don't think they're coming till next year, if I'm not mistaken, but I loved those games.
The fact they're on PS4 is just so exciting.
Those were some of like the first PlayStation games I played, and like that game is so much fun. And I mean, you could kind of see this coming just because, like, I mean, Naughty Dog threw that Crash bit in Uncharted 4. Like, there was a little bit of a nod to this. Like, maybe,
but it's not Naughty Dog anymore, is it?
From what I understand, I don't think so. No, I mean, it's probably another studio doing the remaster. But I mean, it is. I think it's Activision that actually owns the IP. So it's them
that makes sense. Yeah.
that controls it, because it was Activision, I think, that published it back in the day. Naughty Dog made the game, obviously, but yeah,
they're busy. They're quite busy.
Yeah.
So that's
there's nothing we can really talk about for that, just because
if you like Crash,
you're happy. Crash, you'll be super excited. Next up, Last Guardian.
Took them fucking long enough.
Fuck, man. 10 games.
It was supposed to come like out through halfway through PS3's life cycle.
Yeah, I know. They announced
sure.
this game back at the beginning of the PS3's life cycle, which is literally like 10 years ago, maybe longer. But this is
like one dude in an office making it.
Yeah. Well, it's Studio Japan, right? So it's like it's a good studio that's making it. I believe it's Studio Japan. But it's the guys that made fucking like Team Ico. It's the guys that made Ico and fucking Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah. Like, they do have a good pedigree behind them.
They just like to take their time.
I think honestly this game went back to the drawing board a bunch of times. I have a feeling this game was one thing at one point and is completely different from what it was going to be.
Like they couldn't figure out how they were going to end it or how they were going to...
Or what they were doing with the game. I have a feeling that, yes, this game...
It's either going to be a Duke Nukem...
was supposed to be something or is, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was going to be one thing. Whatever they had wasn't good enough, and then they went back to the drawing board and... Like,
see,
this is what
it's either going to be a Duke Nukem or a Fallout 4. We're going to have one of those cases.
You're very right. Yeah, it could be a very much so, like, a make or break kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Perfectly honest myself, I don't care about Last Guardian. I don't know about you.
I don't think it. You know what? It's taken so long to make that it almost seems like it's lagged behind visually, which it doesn't affect gameplay, but it is something.
It is a pretty looking game still. Like, I mean,
kind of, yeah.
And there is that weird feathery
it's got an art style
dog thing that's in it.
See, that's not appealing to me. I find that just strange.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that kind of appeals to me is like when I was watching the trailer, it seems like they're kind of like going for that whole
How to Train Your Dragon.
A little, but like, you know what? You're not too far off, but like. I have a feeling that game is going to be all about the relationship between you and that creature. and it's going to be one of those like tug on your heartstrings kind of storylines where like that thing's going to get in trouble and your character's going to get in trouble, and like it's going to be all about the two of them bonding. And like it's like I said, even when I was watching that trailer, I had like a moment where like I think it's like they show the little, I don't even know what it's called, but like the little cat dragon dog thing,
the griffin dog,
like bird cat dog thing, and it was like falling, or it was like it was in trouble for some reason, and even I could like admit that like I was kind of like, oh my god, like what's gonna happen, like, you know, like it was one of those things that like I think that game is gonna be like that. Like when you play it, it's going to be one of those games where like you're gonna get emotionally attached to those characters.
Oh, of course.
It's kind of like Last of Us, you know what I mean?
In a sense, yeah.
In a sense, where it's like you get emotionally attached to those characters. Like that scene, spoilers, if you haven't played Last of Us now, fuck you. That's like when with that scene where they show Joel fall and he lands on the metal rebar. And like the next scene is like Ellie, and it's like way farther ahead, and like it's her by herself, and you're like, wait, what? And you're like, is he dead? What? And then like you spend that first like 20 minutes just being like,
what happened?
What the fuck happened? Like you're like, holy shit! Like yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like that's I have a feeling like this game is gonna do moments like that, like have moments like that where you're just like you're totally attached to the characters. What?
I thought there was stuff in the bottom of my cup.
Yeah, it's the roofies.
Very important.
It's the roofies I put in there.
This could be a long podcast.
This is gonna be a great podcast.
I'm gonna pass out halfway through. Don't Bill Cosby me.
Yeah, like I said. So I mean, the thing about this game though is that there's a lot of people that seem to be super excited for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's still a lot of hype on the internet about people.
There should be. It's been in production for.
Now that being said, like you said, I wonder if that's just a Duke Nukem effect, where it's one of those things that people are like, it's finally coming.
Too much hype can be a bad thing.
And that's the thing, is too much hype can be a bad thing. I mean, that game was terrible.
Who the fuck is Fake Crypto?
Are they calling you?
No, someone named Fake Crypto invited me to a party. Anyways. I don't know these people. Maybe I'm just cool.
Back to the fucking show.
The show just got longer.
It did. They showed a bunch of VR stuff. The highlight for me is the Batman one. I mean, and I saw a Kotaku article actually, because like all they show with the Batman VR thing is like it started, and oh my god, Borden, I can't tell you how fucking excited I got when I heard Mark Hamill start that dialogue up, and I was like, no.
Mark Hamill,
no fucking way. I was like, is there going to be another Batman game? And like, it's a little bit different than what I expected, but that whole thing where he's like talking about putting on your mask and like when you find the mask that you
wear the cowl.
Yeah, wear the cowl and stuff like that. I have a feeling this is probably going to be more of like a cinematic experience, almost
on rails.
Yeah, on rails, but like you're going to be doing stuff through the eyes of Batman,
like investigating and looking around rooms.
Exactly. A lot of detective mode stuff, like, but. I did read, like I said, I did read a Kotaku review of a person at the event at E3 that actually got to play, and apparently it's fucking awesome. He said he's never played a VR, or I think he said he's never had an experience that left him so satisfied. Like, it was, like, apparently it's dope as hell. So, I mean, that leaves me hopeful, and, like, I'm really excited for this. The other ones were the X-Wing fighter, like the PlayStation X-Wing.
Yeah, the Star Wars franchise space fighting game.
Yeah, and then the other thing that was big. This will tie into another one, but
that mech fighting. There's
rigs. There's rigs, but like they already showed that. So like I mean that one wasn't really a big thing that they announced for VR. The other big thing they announced for VR was that Resident Evil 7 is coming out on PlayStation 4 and is completely playable in PlayStation VR.
That'll be terrifying.
That'll be fucking crazy. Now, that's the other thing, too. So, obviously, Resident Evil 7 got announced. So, that's a big deal. Like, we didn't know that was coming at all. And it is in first person, which is very weird. That's why it's
That'll
playable.
Be interesting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's a step away from the series. Now, I think, and I say this as a hopeful thing, it's going back to, like, it looks like it's going back to the more horror roots that the series kind of had, right? Now, I wonder what kind of tropes they're going to keep. Like, I wonder if they're going to keep, like, the whole...
laser sights, maybe.
Maybe, or, like, I wonder if they're going to keep, like, the whole inventory system and
I'd imagine.
The red and green plants that you mix together to make the sprays. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder how much of that stuff is going to stick in a game. Like, I wonder how true to the Resident Evil series.
I would imagine...
To be honest with you, like, I think the biggest setback for the Resident Evil series has always been its not gameplay, but like its control system.
It's been janky at best.
At best, like for me, and like it's so funny when people like, they're like 6 was the worst game in the series. Like it's nothing like the other games. I'm like, yeah, that's because the controls don't suck dick.
I like that a lot.
I loved the controls for 6. The storyline was good. I thought the storyline. I personally liked the storyline.
I enjoyed 6. Game. It was the last one I actually beat.
I can say like I still think more fondly back to like 2 and like 4 and stuff like that.
See, but
like if 4 had the control system that 6 had, like the thing you know what I'm looking forward to. The HD remakes they're releasing coming up, like 5 and 4 in the next coming months for the HD remakes on PlayStation 4, sound fucking great to me.
I can see it right now when you're using the first person camera for this new game. They'll probably do what they've done before, where it's not like your typical first person shooter and you're aiming forward and you aim your reticle around and your whole camera moves. I think it's gonna be more like you move your gun around kind of like a rail shooter.
I mean, if it's playable, well, I mean, if you're playing with a controller, it's probably going to be like that. But I think if you're VR, the whole point of VR is being able to like look around.
Well, no, that would work perfect. If you use your VR to look around and to aim your gun, you use your stick and you move with the other one. That would work very well.
That'll probably be how it is. Probably be how it is. But like, even though like the 2 minutes they showed of this game, like it looked fucking creepy. Like that's the thing is it looked
everything in first person is so much more creepy.
It is. I will say that is the one thing that I am like sort of stoked for, but also like terrified to
We've got to film that. We've got to film us doing VR gameplay.
Fucking VR play of what's it called?
Make us big so we can afford doing stuff like that because we're poor as shit.
We are poor as fuck. Just
do it.
If anyone out there wants to donate a PlayStation VR to Up at Night Podcast, you can reach us at upatnight.
Anyone else
at gmail.com.
If you'd like to donate me a Lamborghini, just go for it. Yeah,
like Borden can drive, but why not?
Well, I'm just gonna sit in it.
Woo!
I
love this.
I'm gonna park it out there as a status symbol and do nothing with it, or sell it and buy a house.
See how long it takes for that thing to get fucking broken into.
Like one day.
So next up, we're gonna talk about Death Stranding, which, by the way, is a terrible title,
but a sexy game.
But a sexy looking game. So this is Hideo Kojima's return to game.
What was going to be PT as well.
We don't
a spiritual successor.
Yes, I mean that's the thing is like I mean the fact that it's Hideo Kojima and Norman Reedus, yeah, it almost seems like is this PT maybe, but I don't know like. They still haven't set the tone for what kind of game this is going to be. I mean, they've got that weird-ass trailer where he's on the beach, he wakes up naked, he's got the baby with him, and then, like, the baby turns to smoke, and, like, you see, like, the handprints crawling on the dust, or on the sand, and then, like, the wide shot shows, like, a bunch of dead, like, ocean life around him.
And then corpses floating in the air.
That's the thing, is, like, or something. There's 5 somethings, like, floating in the air around him, from a far distance. And like you said, it wasn't until you pointed out that it looked like maybe people that I thought the same thing. When I looked at it, I was just like, they look like objects in the sky.
I wonder if he's in hell, if he's...
Or what's going... Yeah. But like I said, this game has literally zero...
They should have called it Norman Fetus.
Norman... That's the funny thing, is you're not the first person to say that, and I love that whole Norman Fetus
Hashtag
thing.
Norman Fetus.
Yeah.
Up and Night Podcast.
Yeah. Patent pending. No. Like I said, I'm excited nonetheless. I mean, Hideo Kojima obviously makes fucking wonderful games.
I love that PlayStation's just like, throw him all the money he needs.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, is like, I think that was literally, like, I mean, this game is, like, not coming for a long time. This game, I think they said, isn't coming until, like, 2019 or something like that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can understand the messaging behind this. I think you're going to drop that off the table.
Mic drop.
You're like... And then continue recording like nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
No, like I said, I have a feeling literally the only message they were trying to relay here was Hideo Kojima is still making video games, and he's making it for PlayStation exclusively, which it is exclusive to PlayStation.
Fuck you, Konami.
And that's the big thing. Is like it was another thing where they're like, "Hey, Konami, guess what? We got him." Like,
you guys are idiots.
You guys are fucking idiots because apparently you don't like making money. They're too busy making fucking pachinko machines.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Apparently that's like big business for them in Japan. Huge business.
You're either running a casino or you're making a game.
I know, and that's
like,
the thing.
Fuck off.
But that's it. Like, that's where apparently their business is going. And fucking whatever, man. Like, apparently Konami's getting like way out of video games. Which is weird, because like that's really where they started.
Didn't they make Yu-Gi-Oh cards too? Was that them?
No. They might have made Yu-Gi-Oh games, but...
fucking idiots. I think they did.
Oh, I don't remember who makes the
Duelist of the Roses.
Don't make me fucking think about that.
It's time to duel.
Days Gone.
Okay, I didn't know about this, and then he showed me.
Oh my
fucking hype!
God.
So much hype.
This game looks like, I keep saying this, it looks like a mixture of Sons of Anarchy meets
Walking Dead
meets like Left 4 Dead meets
Last of Us.
The Last of Us. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the best description I can give for this. It stars Sam Witwer, which if you know who I'm talking about, he's the guy that was the character in The Force Awakens or Unleashed. The Force Unleashed. The Force Unleashed and Force Unleashed 2. He was the guy that they modeled the character after and did all the voice acting for.
His name was Starkiller.
Starkiller, yeah.
Yes, he was Starkiller.
You said also he's from the Loot Crate?
He's in the Loot Crate trailer. Okay. You'll see it on YouTube every once in a while, and it's the one where he's like walking through the different sci-fi and like pop culture references.
Okay.
And, yeah. He's like, with
but
Loot
I
Crate.
like Sam Witwer. He was also on...
he was on a TV show, wasn't he?
He was on Smallville.
He was on another TV show as well.
Oh, yeah.
Something else.
I think he was. I think you're right, but I recognize him from Smallville. He played Doomsday.
Yeah.
He was Doomsday on Smallville.
He's a memorable actor, but he's just floated under the radar for a long time.
He has. He's one of those actors that I like, and like everything he's been in, I've liked him in. But like you said, like he kind of hasn't had that huge like breakout role kind of thing. But I like the fact that he's also like he's been in a bunch of video games. Like this isn't like it wasn't just like Star Wars that he's been. He's been in a few video games that I've noticed, and like I like the fact that like he's like really in there. Like he's almost he's not like a voice actor because he is like an actual.
He's a character.
Like he is, but like yeah, he usually does the characters and stuff. And like I really like him as like the fact that he's really down with like the video game industry and like he has done like a bunch of these roles. Like he has done a lot of these roles where it's like yeah. But like the gameplay looks super fun. Like you said, it has a very what's it called?
Last of Us.
Last of Us feel. Mm-hmm. Has a very Last of Us feel, except more kind of like maybe shooter-esque. I don't know, third-person shooter-esque.
It's a little bit more action-oriented. One of the things I noticed was when you first showed me and you were explaining who the actor was, the clip we watched first was the gameplay footage, and you never got to see his face.
If you watch the trailer, you get to see more of his face.
Well, no, but
I should have showed you that too.
What's nice about it? No, I got to see it. What was nice about it is that you're explaining him as the actor, and I'm like, long hair, biker look. This doesn't look right. That can't look right. And then they show his face, and I'm like, he's perfect.
Yeah,
it fits perfect. It fits well.
But that's the thing too is like, that's why I said like it almost like I watched all of Sons of Anarchy. I'm a really big fan of that show. But like I was saying to you when you're watching the trailer, like I noticed like he's got the huge bulky rings, he's got the cut, he's got like it even says like road captain, like he's got the patches, he's got all the like you know what I mean? Like it looks like I said, you could have ripped him out of an episode of Sons of Anarchy. I love that the guy he's trying to find in the gameplay trailer his name was like Two Dog, which is such a biker name. You know what I mean? Like
that trailer goes from 0 to 100 fast.
It really does. I love that when you're watching the trailer and
get ready.
He climbs up the building and he's looking for the guy and all of a sudden gets tackled off the roof and then he looks down and it's just like
zombies everywhere.
Zombies. And you're like, oh, okay, like that's where this game's going.
And then he goes from fighting Two Dog to running from hundreds and hundreds of zombies.
And just that,
relentless.
Like, that's the thing that gets me excited for that game is even when I watched that trailer for the first time. So I don't know like what your reaction was. You just watched it for the first time with me. But like when I was at home watching that trailer for the first time, I was getting anxious just watching him run away from that big crowd of zombies because I was like, oh my god, they're like.
And he's trying to stall. He's like closing doors.
Yeah, he's like throwing. He's like shuttering doors. He's throwing like not walkways, but like the
assembly line.
Yeah, like assembly line thing. Like in behind him, he's blowing up barrels. He's shooting into the crowd, just
throwing Molotovs, and he can't stop them.
And it's just waves and waves and waves of zombies coming after him. And like I said, like the entire time they feel like they're like right on your
ass,
like right on your ass. And it's like I said, like that just felt like such an anxious moment, and I can't wait to have that myself. You know what I mean? Like I can't wait to be playing.
It looks very professional too as a game. It looks like it's just going to be a solid 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a game like I said, like The Last of Us, where it's just going to be all about the character. You're going to really fall in love with the character. It's all going to be about how fucked up like everything is now, and like how like it's going to show stuff. I have a feeling it's going to show stuff from like before all this shit happened, because like even in the trailer, it's like him riding on the bike and like talking about how fucked up the world is, and like And then like it shows like, what do I remember? I remember your face. I remember the smell of your head. And like it's just him riding, and he's got the chick like on the back of the bike with him, and he's like smiling and stuff.
Rolling down.
Yeah. Riding through this world. It's just like, yeah. But like I said, that game. Oh my god,
I have high hopes for it.
I am very in for that game. Man, Spider-Man. Holy
I didn't even have to see the trailer.
fucking shit. That was my moment, I think. Like, I saw Days Gone, like, or they didn't show Days Gone until the end, and, like, they showed the trailer first, and they showed the gameplay at the end. But when they showed, like, Insomniac's name, or they showed Spider-Man, and they showed Insomniac, I was just like,
Don't even have to show me. Don't.
holy fuck. Like, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is happening?
If you could pick one developer
Yeah.
to do a Spider-Man game,
my
it's
God.
Insomniac.
My god.
If you haven't played Ratchet and Clank,
Yeah.
and you don't know that they're amazing,
Yeah.
and you know what, like, it's gonna be the definitive Spider-Man game.
This, oh my god. What a crazy exclusive for Sony to get to.
Sony's killing it, like just killing it.
They really are just totally making this. Oh my god, this year or this coming season, and like even like early next year and stuff like that. Because like some of these games are this season, some of them are next season. Like it's gonna be next year. But nonetheless, like this is going to be fucking crazy. Like it's just gonna be a great time to be a gamer. Like I said, I couldn't believe like when we saw that gameplay trailer start.
His costume is amazing. It's like
different.
It's like Civil War costume with a white Spider-Man symbol on
a
him.
little bit, yeah. And like, did you notice that he's got
the same eyes? Yeah,
he's got the lenses, and like, yeah, I did notice that. Yeah, it's a new costume. I think is it just a new costume design altogether, or is that from one of the comic books? I've never seen it before.
I'm not into the comic books,
Yeah,
but
so that's
all I know
fair.
is that it's a nice costume.
Very nice looking costume. I like the white Spider-Man symbol on the front. Like it's very interesting looking.
I wonder what the story is behind that.
I wonder too. I wonder which Spider-Man it's going to be. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's most likely Peter Parker, just because it's like, you know.
As long as they throw in a ton of costumes and it plays like Spider-Man,
Yeah.
if it plays like
Yeah.
any of the old Spider-Man games, oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I am definitely in for that.
This is the rock steady Batman to the Spider-Man
and that's the
franchise.
thing is, like, I was talking about that the other day. I think was it you and I talking about that? Like,
Maybe.
Yeah, like Batman hasn't had a good game until like Rocksteady got their hands on like Batman, and like they made the Arkham series, and that was fucking phenomenal.
Yep.
Like they're having good Spider-Man games though. Spider-Man 2,
but it could be better.
yeah, I was gonna say Spider-Man has had good games before. Spider-Man 2 was pretty much the only good one in the series.
No. Well, not only that one. Ultimate Spider-Man was good. You can't forget about that one. Ultimate,
good?
Yes, it was very good.
I never played it.
Maybe it's nostalgia, but
Yeah, maybe.
you go through the cycle of these other ones though. What were the other ones, like Web of Shadows?
Web of Shadows. There was Edge of Time. There was like,
Shadows of fucking Darkness, something bullshit. All those are just forgettable. They're very forgettable.
I heard those games were not as good as like the other Spider-Man games. Yeah.
And then there was the Amazing Spider-Man licensed movie games. The two of them, they were decent. They were knockoffs of Batman, but I want something that really is its own. And with Insomniac Games, they're going to do that. There's no way.
Oh yeah, they're gonna make this game very like you said.
You give a developer that can make a new title out of nowhere, a license that fans love.
Yeah.
Oh hey, do you want to make a Spider-Man game? Everyone just looks at each other like, "You fucking kidding me?"
Yeah,
Yes.
fuck yeah, we do. Yeah, can we start now? Yeah. No, yeah. Well, yeah, what you said. It's gonna be in the hands of Insomniac. I have no worries.
Nope.
I am really interested to see what the storyline's like. I have a feeling it's going to have a lot of enemies in it. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those things where you're going to be going around like...
I'm interested to see the art on the villains. If
too.
Spider-Man looks like that, they're going to take some creative leeway with
some of the other characters.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I'm excited to see Venom, because you know they're going to put Venom in it. You know they're going to put like Doc Ock. They're going to put...
They're going to put everyone in it.
Yeah, they're going to put everyone in it. And that's what I see. That's what my like hope is I hope the storyline revolves around a specific villain, but then like the other Spider-Man games before, where it's like, here is a side storyline with just you dealing with Doc Ock or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
now that I think about it, I'm wondering if this is running parallel with the whole Spider-Man movie.
now, okay,
Because he has the same eyes.
Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear his voice? Because it sounded like the guy that played him in the movie.
It did.
And I wonder if it is. I'll have to look into that later, but...
Maybe it is just a parallel kind of runs.
Who knows? It could be. That would be smart of Marvel to do that, to kind of like make it alongside the movie.
Which this is one of those things that Marvel hasn't branched out to quite yet, where, you know, the whole cinematic universe, the TV universe, all that kind of runs parallel.
It's all together, yeah.
I wonder if they're going to start putting games into this universe.
Well, I mean, if they can get developers like
Insomniac to do it,
fucking by all means, go
Yeah.
on. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is the first like Marvel game in a while that I've been actually
Hyped for.
hyped for. Yeah.
I hope it's the next like Incredible Hulk game, kind of.
Oh my God, Hulk Ultimate Destruction was so much fun.
Yep.
But yeah, that game looks like it's gonna be amazing.
It will.
Horizon. So we've seen this game before.
It's been rumored since last E3.
Well, they showed it at last E3. They showed like a quick. They showed a video. I think they showed gameplay at last E3, but they showed more this time. They showed a longer cut. They actually showed some of the systems in the game of her like scanning the enemies, picking out their weaknesses. Her showing the different weapons like the sling and the bow, and like she fights the one enemy where it's like leaping from place to place and trying to slam down on her, and she pins it down with a bunch of these like like rope arrow kind of tie things.
My concern is I'm hoping it's not the same thing that happened with the last Killzone game where it looked great in the trailers, it looked great in game,
Yeah.
and then you play it and you're like, this is just the worst.
It is Guerrilla, so I mean, it is the same studio that made Killzone games. I mean, the Killzone games were fun. Like, I mean, they were decent.
The first three were great, the Shadow bullshit
Yeah.
was a whole different animal. It was visually pleasing, but it was a
looked incredible.
stupid game.
But I mean, this does have a different feel, right? Like, I mean, it's not first.
They might have
person
learned.
anymore.
They might have been like,
it is a
yeah.
third-person game. It has a very different feel. I am just intrigued by that world's like mythos. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know.
It looks
why.
very interesting.
I
Yeah.
want to know what happened to the Earth, like, and why it's kind of reverted back to this almost like everything's overgrown and almost like, you know, prehistoric era
Maybe
thing. But
it's a
there's
human
these
farm.
giant, but like there's these giant robot, like almost animals roaming around. Like, it's a very interesting concept for a game, and I am interested to get myself in there. There's a lot of people who say they think Horizon is going to be the next like series, like Uncharted,
Maybe
Killzone.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to
I'm
be
hopeful.
the next.
Don't get me wrong.
Like, PlayStation series that will have iterations coming in the next few years that are just going to be fantastic.
Here's my prediction for the story. It's a human alien farm where they have robot creatures and humans are raised in it and just have to kind of go about their lives.
It's an interesting thought because, like, I mean, you kind of automatically go to that whole like Skynet scenario where it's like, okay, maybe the robots
Overthrew them.
overthrew the humans, and then like that's why they kind of live like primitives now. But there's still like a lot of technology available. But like, it's like I said, the one thing that intrigues me is why are there robots that are almost animal-esque? You know what I mean? Why are they
Actually, a Transformer game.
robots in disguise?
The whole franchise is in disguise
You're
right
just
now.
like fighting. I was like, it's just like fucking robot dude standing there. He's like, hey,
we need to find
Shia.
Shia LaBeouf.
Sam Witwicky. Those fucking movies.
You have a lot-
You know they're making another
Fuck off.
movie. It's called like The Last Night or something like
Should be
that.
the last movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish they would just get another person to do a Transformers movie properly.
But Michael Bay.
But people keep going to see it if they keep putting like
Yeah.
the hot chick in it and make it for kids. So dads can take their kids to go watch it and stare at hot girls.
Fair. So yeah, I mean, Horizon looks like it's gonna be super cool. I mean,
I'm hopeful.
We'll see,
I'm very
what
hopeful.
happens with that.
It's visually pleasing.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off by saying this trailer for the next game. When it started, I was like, okay, like, you know, like whatever. This is kind of cool. Like, what's going on? Like, they show a sci-fi kind of esque game. The guy's like scanning planets and stuff. He jumps into a spaceship. He starts doing dog fights. Then he jumps out of the spaceship mid-fight and like grapple hooks all over the place. He starts like, you know, fucking gunning guys down. He's got cool grenades.
Ripping masks off people
like
in
rip masks-
space.
Yeah, in space. He fucking breaches through like the
cockpit of the shuttle.
exactly, and then like, you know, it's got really cool like, and that trailer was fucking awesome. And then all of a sudden the Call of Duty logo ends up, and I was like, I don't know what to think about right now. Like I
Mind freak.
yeah, like, and like for those of you who don't know me, like, I mean, I don't like the Call of Duty games. Like, I mean, I think they're fine. I think people who play them
Get enjoyment out of
get
them.
enjoyment out of them. Yes, exactly.
Do you?
I don't
No.
at all. I think they have decent campaigns. The last one I played was like 2.
Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare was okay.
Yeah.
But other than that, did not enjoy any of the recent stories.
So there you go. But like I said, like, I saw the trailer for this. I keep stepping on the wire. I saw the trailer for this, and oh my fucking god, it looks awesome. Now, here's the funniest part about this whole thing, is everyone that I've talked to who's not a fan of Call of Duty
Loves it.
loves the idea of this game, and everyone who is a fan of Call of Duty thinks this game looks like garbage. And I was like, this is really funny. It's kind of telling which way they went as far as like the
Now,
like audience almost. But
to be said, this trailer came out 3 days ago.
true.
If you had told me you were liking Call of Duty and I had not seen this trailer, I'd be a little skeptic.
Yep.
After seeing this trailer, I'm a little bit more hopeful.
Yeah.
So they're straying away from the repetitiveness, okay? So you got to give them a break on that sense.
Yeah.
And going to space maybe isn't the best place they could have went, but the way they're doing it looks great.
Yeah.
They're getting it right.
I just, like I said, I couldn't believe that, like, at the end of that trailer, Call of Duty's name popped up. That's all I'm saying.
That's how good it is.
All I'm saying is that game looks fantastic, and I will actually probably pick it up just to play the campaign. I have no interest in the multiplayer at all, because the multiplayer community on that game is
toxic.
Fucking toxic as all hell. But you know what? That game looks like it'll be really fun. That's all I'm saying about that. The last one we're going to talk about from Sony is Detroit.
Yes.
Being Human, or Becoming Human? I can't remember.
Become Human.
Quantic Dream is making this game, so
it's a spiritual sequel to Heavy Rain.
I was going to say, it's made by the same guys that made Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls.
Yep. I have that upstairs. I got to play that.
I would like to go back and play those
It's co-op.
games.
Did you know that?
No.
We should co-op
One person
that.
gets to play as the ghost.
I guess, yeah. I haven't seen it. I haven't played it.
I'll just possess people.
We should co-op
Make them
it.
do funny things.
Yeah.
I'm a ghost. Yeah. But yeah, like I'm
hopeful.
Oh, you know what else they made? Did you ever play Indigo Prophecy? For the like original Xbox / I think PS2.
No, I didn't.
It was the first game they ever made. Fucking fantastic. If you've never played this game, look it up.
It might be on PC. Maybe.
Similar style of game where it's like that kind of playable movie-esque kind of thing where you're doing quick time events all the time and like you get to wander around like a scene like essentially it's the same idea as like Heavy Rain kind of thing. You're like either a reporter or an investigator and you're trying to like figure out a murder. But like it gets super weird, it gets super like supernatural at points like but it was one of those games that I remember playing and just like couldn't stop and just had like jaw-dropping moments. And like
it's going to be the same case with this one.
And this game looks fucking cool. Like I like the whole idea like you're playing as an android
and you have to make life or death decisions every single incident.
I liked the way they did this trailer. I like the way they did the whole like the first time they show it, you think it's just a trailer running like normal, obviously, and like the scene like he's trying to talk the guy down from killing.
He's de-escalating a situation.
He's trying to de-escalate the situation, and like he's making all the wrong choices, and like the guy ends up just like fucking stepping off the roof with the little
child,
girl. And you're like. Oh, like even like I said, like to you, I was like, well, that could have gone better. Mm-hmm. Like, and then like it kind of rewinds back, and they show him like investigating the crime scene and stuff, gathering information about what's going on. Then it shows the scene again, and it's like
the different results of your decisions.
He's got a gun in the one scene, and he's like, it's like, do you have a gun? And it's like, lie or tell the truth. And it's like, tell the truth. And it's like, I have a gun, and he's like, throw it aside, and he like tosses it aside, or like he's got like the gun behind his back, and he's like, I don't have like I'm unarmed, kind of thing, like and. Then they've got like the scenes of him like trying to talk him down, like the one he actually succeeds in talking him down.
The one he gets shot in the head.
The one he gets shot in the head and he ends up dying. The one he ends up like running over and shoving the guy off the roof and grabbing the girl and throwing her aside. Like, it's one of those games that I think is going to be a lot of fun, and it's also one of those games that you're going to get like a cool
deep satisfaction
out of, and a cool amount of replayability of like. What if I did do this? Like, would I'm
going to be an asshole this whole
like,
playthrough.
What if I? Yeah, exactly. It's got that almost like Mass Effect kind of esque.
On steroids, though.
Yeah, like, it's kind of got that, like, BioWare-esque kind of, like, a thing where it's like, I'm going to play this game twice because I know the outcome's going to be vastly different if I go with the Paragon or if I go with the Renegade, like...
Yeah, and what makes this game great, too, is that the story is centered around an android making these decisions.
Yeah.
So, in those cases where, you know, maybe he fell off the roof, he gets shot, they can repair him, and the story can keep going.
And that's the thing, too, is I wonder if that's going to be a factor where it's like, yeah, in the one version of the storyline, like... If he ends up like running and jumping and tackling the dude and he falls off the roof,
he survives.
Who's to say like they don't just fucking take his memories, rebuild them, and put him in a new body? Like, and then he's just like, "Yep, that was what happened. That's how it went down." It's like that's gonna be a cool thing where it's like this isn't necessarily pass fail.
No,
it's like you passed, but boy, did you fuck up royally the entire time.
You've just started something that's gonna fuck everything up. Yeah,
or like like you didn't. Like, I wonder if there's situations where, like, the situation where he gets shot in the head, like, or the situation where the guy jumps off the building with the girl in his arms. I wonder if that's just going to be like that's how that ends. You tried talking him down, it didn't work. You failed this mission.
You're fired.
Yeah. You don't have a job anymore.
You are a shitty.
Then the rest of the game is like you standing in the Android unemployment line, waiting for fucking like
becomes
welfare checks.
He gets a job as a toaster.
Ding. Here you go.
Yeah.
All right. So
In a whole, I'm pretty satisfied. I think Sony nailed it.
in the hole.
In the hole, if you jump in this hole, this hypothetical hole, you're gonna have a lot of games to play.
This is me jumping in the hole.
Just the hole.
So yeah, like I said, like as a entire like conference, like from start to end, the one thing I really enjoyed about their conference too is it was, first of all, I want to comment on the live orchestra, which I noticed that.
I noticed that.
I was to say the entire thing was played over by a live orchestra. So even while they were showing trailers, the music was being played by a live orchestra in the conference.
I'm just hoping it's the same music. Because you imagine you get into like Days Gone and it's like, well,
it
won't be. I'm joking.
Like they were showing that gameplay and like the music was amping up as he was getting closer and closer to that last part where he's standing on that roof, like kind of like surrounded. But like that was the orchestra like playing while they were doing it. I have a feeling they were just playing the score from the game.
Yeah,
like whatever.
Probably.
Like I was just joking. There probably is going to be like soundtrack with music from it, but that was probably just the score.
No, I think the real soundtrack is Yankee Doodle.
Just like the entire time, I was like, yeah. But yeah, there's that. I like the fact that like everyone that came out was just like, "Hi, my name is this." Like, I'm gonna say one word and go.
Let's fucking
like, and
go.
It was like trailer, gameplay. Like, it was very like just the pacing. That's the word I'm looking for. The pacing is amazing on this one.
Sony has got it down pat.
Ubisoft could have taken a fucking note from this. Ubisoft's conference was 2 fucking hours long.
We'll get into that.
God.
We're gonna have.
I was at the end of that, like, please, is it over? My God, can it end? They're like, we're gonna show another Watch Dogs gameplay video, and I was like, we just watched 10 minutes of gameplay in Watch Dogs, and it was boring. Why are you doing this to me?
We will go over that. We're gonna have 2 other videos alongside this one.
Yep.
So go check out our Microsoft video
and our the other ones.
We have a combo video about the others.
Ubisoft, EA, Bethesda,
Nintendo.
Someone Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo didn't really warrant its own video because there's not really much that they talked about other than Zelda and Pokemon. So we will get to those in other videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and
see you in the next video.
See you in the next video.
The other video.
The other video.
The other videos.
The videos.
The videos. Time to jump in our holes.